you wanted to talk about Frankie Edgar,
Yep.
Cub Swanson.
Yep, the rematch was set for UFC Atlantic City, and I'm cool with the fight. It's going to be a good fight. Like, especially.
What's the story about this Atlantic City card? Because I feel like it's growing by the day, right? Like,
yeah, it seems to be.
It's going to be huge.
Almost completed, if not already completed. But they just released the poster this past week, so I think it's in less than a month. So a month, I think. So it's got to be just about complete the whole card.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if it was completed, it's got to be completed this past week.
Is that a fight night?
It's a fight night. It's a FS1 card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about this fight because I like the matchup. I don't like the timing of it at all.
Okay.
Because Frankie Edgar just got KO'd, 2-3 weeks ago, tops, I think?
Yeah.
And he's suspended by the commission.
Right.
And because from contact.
For injury, yeah.
Yeah, until he fights for I think it was a week before this fight. That's not good.
What does that mean? Like, so you can't train?
You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to do any contact training
Who
for a certain
regulates
period.
that?
The commissions. So
no
no one
send
actually,
a dude out to your gym?
No.
Oh,
They don't actually I don't believe they do. At least maybe they do everyone. I don't know. Maybe who knows? But I don't think they have people go out there and watch these guys. I think that they still train.
Yeah,
they
I would.
do the contact. Sure. Yeah. But yeah, it's just not. I don't know. It's not good. But Frankie Edgar's 36 years old.
Right.
He just got KO'd. Flatline KO'd. His first time he's ever been knocked out. And now he's turning 36, or he just turned 36 recently, I think. He's going on 37 now. And the last thing I want is for Frankie's chin to go, and then he comes back in his next fight against a heavy hitter like Cub Swanson, who can put somebody's lights out and hasn't fought in a little bit.
Yeah.
He's going to be fresh, and Frankie's just going to be coming. I could be completely wrong. Who knows? And there's obviously a method behind the madness from Frankie Edgar and his team to accept the fight. I don't know what reasons they did. It's, in my opinion, irresponsible of the UFC to offer him that fight that quickly, just to try to save a card, sort of. And Frankie Edgar's fighting, I think it's in Atlantic City, so that's New Jersey, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think it's New Jersey. Yeah. You could double check. Fact check us, make sure we're good, because we don't know where Atlantic City is. We need to get our geography skills up to par. But I think one of the reasons he took the fight is because it's close to home. And I just don't like the timing of it at all. I think it's a good fight. It could be entertaining. We could be completely wrong on this, but I do not like the timing of this.
It's New Jersey. That's fucking sad.
That we didn't know it. Yeah, it's sad. Let's.
I almost feel like we should cut this out, but we'll just keep it in because
they can see our mistakes. We can look it up. So all
right. I think I feel torn because if that was the first knockout in Frankie Edgar's career. Not that he hasn't taken tons of damage over this career, but
he has.
It shows he's got a strong shin. We've always known that he was a warrior, right? And so I feel like he's probably he's still going to be in fight shape from all the training he just did. Getting ready for the Ortega fight, who was it supposed to be?
For Max Holloway.
Yeah,
Frankie Edgar was supposed to fight the champion.
He's in championship fighting form, and just a month out, all he has to do is maintain. So I think that works in his favor. He's already in the mindset. He's in shape. But the danger is that Cub Swanson is a fucking brawler, and there's going to be a lot of head damage that he's going to take, and is that
or
injury
possibly could take? Yeah. Who knows? He might be able to out wrestle him and just completely outclass him like he did the first fight, because Frankie Edgar put on a masterclass performance in their first fight. But just seems the timing of him getting older, possibly he might have lost his chin in his last fight, and coming back that early, he's probably going to be susceptible to the knockout. There are so many instances where guys who have reached that peak age of the mid to late 30s, and then they start to deteriorate a little bit. They get cracked, they get knocked out, and then they're never the same.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, one that I can point to is Anderson Silva. When Anderson Silva got knocked out by Chris Weidman, he came back, I think, 6 months later, and his chin was not the same. He could not take a punch the same as he used to be able to. Michael Bisping even dropped him like 2 years later. And Michael Bisping is not known for having super powerful hands. So, I mean, when guys get knocked out at that point in their career, sometimes their chins just go. So if Frankie gets clipped with anything hard, who knows? He might drop. I could be, once again, completely wrong. But, I mean, he took especially with knockouts like that, when you take a brutal knockout the way Frankie Edgar got KO'd by Cub Swanson, by Brian Ortega. I'm like predicting this fight already. By Brian Ortega, that was a crushing KO. He literally lifted his feet off the ground.
Yeah.
So I don't like the fight. I don't like the timing of the fight for Frankie. I think he should have at least taken like 6 months off, not a month and a half, and he comes back and fights after getting sparked. So that's just my take.
So, but who do you have winning though in that fight?
I don't know. Like, my heart wants to say Frankie because he clearly outclassed him in the first fight, but my brain's telling me Cub Swanson's going to crack him in the first couple rounds, and that's all it's going to take. Once again, I could be entirely wrong, and I think if Frankie can, because when Frankie used to get rocked in the past, he was able to mix in wrestling, but he didn't want to do that against Brian Ortega because of his ground game.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have that to worry about against Cub Swanson. In fact, I think Frankie Edgar submitted Cub Swanson in their first fight. So if he's able to mix in those takedowns well and not take the damage, he will be okay.
Yeah.
I still just don't like the timing of the fight because if he does get cracked by Cub, I mean, getting knocked out 2 times in a row in like 2 months, that's not good for your brain.
Yeah, and then what does that mean for the both of them? Say Cub Swanson wins. Mm-hmm. Where does that put him in the rankings?
He's right back up in title contention then.
Because I feel like he's on, an upward slope right now. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Frankie's right on the edge of having a downward slope, from that knockout. And that's so sad. I think we talked about it last episode, that he was ready for a title shot. And then this fucking wrench in the plans happens. And now he's, seemingly on his way out. He's seemingly like on his way to retirement when he was just at a title fight.
Yep.
And that got taken away. And Cub's, it's crazy.
Cub's 34 years old, so he's getting there too, but I do think, his last loss was Brian Ortega. And Brian Ortega's getting a title shot now, so it doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
So, I still just don't like the timing of it, but
yeah. No,
it is what it is. It's going to happen. I almost hope Frankie gets hurt so he doesn't have to fight. I don't wish that upon anybody.
Right. No, I know what you mean.
I wouldn't want Frankie Edgar to ever lose out on a paycheck or anything, but I just don't want to see him get KO'd again.